Have you ever had someone say something to you that stuck in your mind forever? Not because it was dramatic, not because it was complicated, but because it was so simple and so real that it touched you in a way nothing else could. That's exactly what happened when Johnny Depp whispered, "You bring me back to life." Those 5 little words broke through the noise of fame, headlines, and Hollywood, and they went straight to the hearts of millions of people around the world. When you think about it, it's not surprising. Sometimes it's the quietest words that are the loudest. A whisper has a way of getting inside you that a shout never could. A shout might catch your attention for a moment, but a whisper lingers. A whisper makes you lean closer, listen harder, and feel deeper. Johnny didn't give a speech, he didn't stand tall in the spotlight and try to sound perfect. He let out a whisper. And that whisper said more than 1,000 rehearsed lines ever could. The world leaned in. People listened. And suddenly, everyone felt like he was speaking directly to them. Why? Because we've all been in that place. We've all known what it feels like to be drained, to be tired, to feel like the weight of life is pressing down. And we've all known the miracle of having someone pull us back from that edge, not with grand gestures, but with the smallest reminders that we matter. That we're seen. That we're loved. That's why those words, "You bring me back to life," spread like wildfire. They weren't about fame. They weren't about his career, his movies, or his fortune. They weren't about Hollywood at all. They were about something raw and human, the universal need to feel alive again when life tries to break you down. Johnny Depp has lived a life bigger than most of us can imagine. Fame, money, headlines, scandals, trials, success, failure, heartbreak, and joy, all of it amplified under the brightest lights in the world. But behind the red carpets and flashing cameras, there's still a man. A man who has been through loss, pain, criticism, and battles most of us will never fully understand. When he whispered those words, it was like he let his guard down for just a second. It was like he dropped the mask that comes with being a celebrity and showed the world something raw and real. And that's why it landed with such force. Because it reminded people that even someone like him, someone who seems untouchable, needs that same kind of human connection we all do. It shattered the myth that celebrities are somehow different from the rest of us. We tend to think they don't cry the way we do, that they don't get lonely, that they don't feel the emptiness we sometimes feel. But the truth is, they do. They bleed, they break, and they heal the same way we do. Johnny's whisper wasn't just about gratitude. It was about survival. It was about acknowledging that without connection, without love, without support, even the strongest people can crumble. And the beauty of that moment is that it didn't just touch his fans, it reflected something back to them too. It made people think about their own lives. It made them remember the times when someone's words saved them. It made them think about the people who bring them back to life. Maybe it was a best friend who never gave up on them. Maybe it was a parent who reminded them of their worth. Maybe it was a partner who made them feel seen in a way nobody else ever did. Or maybe it was a stranger who showed kindness when they needed it most. Think about it for a second. In your own life, can you remember the words that pulled you through? Maybe it was, "I'm proud of you." Maybe it was, "I love you." Or maybe it was just, "I'm here." Those words might not have seemed like much at the time, but they stuck. They became the lifeline you held on to. And that's the thing about whispers like Johnny's, they stay with you long after the moment has passed. Psychologists often say it's not the big speeches that change people. It's the short, simple, heartfelt words said in the right moment. Those are the words that dig deep. Those are the ones you remember. And when Johnny whispered, "You bring me back to life," he wasn't just sharing his own truth. He was reminding us of a truth we all share, that connection is what saves us. And this isn't just emotional talk. It's backed by science. Studies on human connection show that being seen and valued literally changes your brain chemistry. It releases feel-good hormones, it lowers stress, and it boosts resilience. It's not just that love feels nice, it's that love heals. That whisper wasn't poetry. It was proof of something bigger, that without connection, life drains us. With connection, we're reborn. Now here's where it gets interesting. That whisper wasn't just for him, and it wasn't just for his fans. It became a mirror. People started asking themselves, who brings me back to life? Who makes my world brighter? Who makes me feel like I can breathe again? For some, the answer was family. For others, it was friends. For many, it was their children. And for some, it was even Johnny himself, the way his movies, his music, or his presence in their lives gave them comfort through their own struggles. And that's the power of words. They don't just describe feelings. They create them. They don't just remind us of what's true. They awaken us to what we've been ignoring. Let's take a moment to imagine something. Think about someone in your life right now who makes things lighter without even trying. Maybe they crack a joke that makes you laugh even when you're down. Maybe they sit with you in silence when words aren't enough. Maybe they check in on you when no one else remembers. They might not even know how much they mean to you. But they bring you back to life in ways you can't always explain. Now picture what it would mean to whisper something back to them. To tell them, you always make my day better, or, I don't know what I'd do without you. Imagine the way their face would light up. Imagine the way their heart would feel. Because sometimes, the words we whisper to others are the very words they've been waiting their whole life to hear. That's the real lesson in Johnny's whisper. That it doesn't take much to change someone's world. It doesn't take money. It doesn't take fame. It doesn't take a grand gesture. It just takes honesty. It just takes seeing someone, valuing them, and telling them what they mean to you. And if we think about it, that's all any of us want. To be seen. To be valued. To be loved. We don't need someone to save us with fireworks. We need someone to remind us we're not alone. That we matter. That our presence makes a difference. That's why millions of people reacted so strongly to that whisper. Because it wasn't just Johnny's story. It was everyone's story. It was a reminder that life will always have moments where we feel broken. But in those moments, connection is what puts us back together. And sometimes, it only takes a few words. So here's something to think about. If you had just one sentence to whisper to someone you love, what would it be? Would it be, I'm proud of you? Would it be, I'm here for you? Would it be, you make my life better? Whatever it is, don't hold it back. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Because the truth is, the perfect moment is now. Someone out there needs to hear it today. Someone out there needs to be reminded that they matter. And maybe your words are exactly what will bring them back to life. And that's the beauty of whispers. They don't fade. They echo. They ripple. They live on. Just like Johnny Depp's whisper lives on. Not because he's famous, not because it was dramatic, but because it was true. So whisper it. Say it softly. Say it with love. Because you never know who needs to hear it. And you never know how much it could change their world.